Well, hi everybody. My name is Morrison, and my thesis project is named DIY, and I'll explain this whole process in just a little bit. The term DIY means do it yourself, but the idea means many things to many different people. The Seattle DIY Collective refers to the ethic of being self-reliant by completing tasks oneself, as opposed to having others who are likely more experienced complete them. Wikipedia defines DIY music as international alternative music scenes. It blurs the line between creator and consumer by creating a social network with communities of media makers and avoids corporate sponsorship. But the main idea that DIY artists have in common is that it promotes the ability for the ordinary person to learn more than he or she thought was possible. In previous years, musicians had to get lessons, get an agent, buy thousands of dollars of equipment, and not forget about distributing costs in the end. That is not as true today. With the advent of social networking sites, blogs, online purchasing, how-to sites, and bartering, any artist with drive and a little bit of talent can succeed in doing it themselves. In my thesis, I focus on the independent world of rock music, specifically those bands and labels that produce their own promotional video content, and how it perpetuates itself by showing the steps of self-promotion, booking shows, distributing, recording, and performance. The end goal is to experiment with social networking with bands or labels that, again, create their own video content. Think of it as a MySpace for DIY bands. The creation of the social networking website will be in between a grassroots DIY effort and a major studio in the way that it promotes and encourages musicians. The difference between this DIY website and other social networks is in the interactive map that shows different webisodes that promote and perpetuate the DIY ethic. These webisodes are specifically a series of how-to videos for DIY bands. Other bands will be able to use a virtual map of experiences as a resource to post, comment, and even link to the artist via Skype or other popular social networking sites, effectively creating a resource for inexperienced bands and media makers. It'll also be used as a representative model for any types of artists who want to be able to link up in that sort of way and teach each other whatever they need. And so let me go to the website here. What you see here is I have a proposal link to that. I have a little biography on myself, a link to the band's MySpace page, a Ford Fiesta video, which I don't have time to go into, but I'll tell you about it later. And here is the interactive map right here. So if I click on the interactive map, and go again, it's going to bring me to a Google site, which is a Google Map site. It's taking a little bit of time to load up here. But on this Google Map site, I have the ability to make my own individual points to certain places in the country and embed video in those points. So if I want to tell somebody I just found a great rehearsal space, I can tell them where it is and then show a short video on how to find the space, how to record in it, how to do everything you need to do in there. And it looks like this isn't going to load up for me quick enough. But you get the idea, and I'll just leave it going. The connections between bands and creation and the spread of viral how-to videos will create dynamic alternatives to current sites which limit themselves to blog posts, event calendars, and are narrow and focused geographically and in content. But the main point is to have these bands create content themselves and remain self-sufficient, true to a DIY ethic. Phase 1 consists of a focus on one band. The Brooklyn-based band This Mission does not exist. I've provided 2 Kodak ZI-6 cameras to the band and encouraged them to create a series of how-to videos on promotion, distributing, recording, and eventually performance. They're about handheld size, and they just carry them along wherever they find the need to record, and I just encourage them to upload the footage, and then I edit them and I receive the footage. So as they create content, they'll be uploading footage to me, and I will edit and post content to the interactive map and update the blog, which is another link that's actually back behind it. But now I'm not loading anything, so you get the idea. Okay, so what we have right now so far is a quick clip of a meeting they had for a mixing session. They all got together and they had recorded a demo. Actually, I'm going to open this in quick. So they got together and they recorded a demo, and now they're getting together at the person who recorded it for them, their house, their apartment, and they're discussing the results of the mixing, of the results of the recording. So this is just a short thing of what they accomplished and what I put together.
Where are we? Where are you guys doing what?
So as you can tell, there is a little bit of an issue being able to hear what they're actually saying, but some of these clips are going to be used to just show how abysmally boring sometimes this stuff can be. So it's kind of like proving, for example, proving as an example to other people, so other bands that come out there. So some of the clips and even some of the footage that Chris was saying, he was saying just how hard it is to get somebody to do something for free. So in a way, it's a life lesson. Don't get anybody to do something for free unless if you want it done quickly. That's one possible lesson you could learn from that. But the primary audience for do-it-yourself includes male or female music enthusiasts and young adults ranging from 12 to 34. And this age group defines a large segment of concert-going crowds at independent venues who are technologically competent and willing to support a viral video outreach and social networking campaign. And I plan on applying the website for awards such as the Webby Awards that award that promote web content and design in different categories, and use the content that's submitted to create larger video projects to submit to film festivals to promote the website. So I want to encourage bands and labels to contribute material, trade links, and eventually be able to make this a self-sustaining website in its own. So, any questions? Yes, Russell?
Do you still have access to the actual tracks that the free engineer was mixing?
Yes.
So what we heard though was off the camera, right?
Yes.
All right, well then you just put the real track there instead of the off the camera track.
Right, yeah. I'll have full access to their music, which is another great thing because it not only promotes them, but it allows me to have a free source of music to go in the background of any kind of way.
And what camera was that you used?
It's a Kodak ZI-6.
All right.
It's a small little handheld similar to the flip video, but you can insert in memory cards that'll allow you to record up to probably 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
I have two questions. The first is, what are you doing about hardware backend for hosting? And the other is, what are you doing about licensing for this content? Who owns it?
For the band?
Yeah, for the band. The stuff that is submitted to the website.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. For the other bands that will contribute eventually?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I haven't thought that far ahead yet.
Okay.
A lot of the bands, I'm hoping, would just use it as something that would further their own career, and they're early enough on the stage that I can make up a contract and hopefully convince them that I'm using it in their best benefit. I'm sorry, what was the first question? About the website.
Yeah, how are you hosting? Or
I bought web space through namecheap.com, and it's about $6.95 a month, so for about 1,000 gigs of space. So they're just going to upload through CyberDuck directly to it, and actually the last episode was pretty successful. And I made another short episode about how difficult it is to upload material, so keep tuned.
Where's the decimal point with the $6.95?
$6.
With the $6 or $6.95.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.